Hello and welcome back to Pendor, and we are here on the level up screen because, well, of course, as you saw in the previous episode at the very end, we had only about 150 experience to go, and I obviously did manage to get a couple of kills. In the meantime, I've also deposited a bunch of refugees in the old ruins. Hopefully that's gonna kind of push us onward to get the 20 that we need. I actually only have 8 there, or 7, or something like that, so I haven't really been able to get a huge amount of refugees in there at the moment, but that is because, very, very specifically, I wanted to come down over to Ethos. Now, here's the thing. Usually, in Warband, there are going to be very, very specific locations that are going to be good for enterprises, and thankfully, because Warband is Warband and not Bannerlord, Warband does have the added benefit of an economy that actually kind of pays you to invest in it. So for example, if you build an enterprise, it's actually going to pay you back rather than it being something that you just spend 15 or 25,000 on and then you just go, this is giving me 10 per day. Those kinds of things, because that's kind of what happens in Bannerlord, unfortunately, although that's on the rare occasion. Anyway, point is, we have leveled up, and I'm going to be speccing into leadership, like I said before. This is absolutely imperative, because the only reason why I actually made my way down to the old ruins anyway, all the way from Ravenstone territory, is because I just didn't have any more space. So you kind of need to do that, right? Kind of need to move down. Anyway, I'm just going to level up my archery some more, level up my two-handed, and this is where we currently are at. We have the ability to help out Marius Imperator against a heretic army. Or we can actually help the heretic army if we want to, but no, we're not going to do that. Anyway, we're going to move in to help Marius here. I don't know how this is going to go, by the way, but I'm going to be playing extremely selfishly, alright? Super, super selfishly. And you know what that means? That means I'm just literally going to try and get kills myself. That's it. I will literally just try to get kills myself. I do not care about my own forces. I don't care about the allies' forces. All I care about is me staying alive. That is the most important thing in this battle. Because if we are unlucky, I'm going to get killed and get nothing for it, but again, we're not really going to get anything for it anyway. We do have the ability to potentially get a Netherworld Charger, I think. Might get lucky with that, not entirely sure. But yeah, some of these guys are absolutely insane. I mean, as you can quite clearly tell, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Insta-kill. And we're just going to leave. No, I'm just not gonna stay in there whatsoever. As you can quite clearly tell, this is just literally not for me. Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm gonna have a bit of perseverance here. Okay, gonna have a little bit of perseverance. Let's actually see what happens. Maybe we can just sneak in there at the end. Maybe that's what we can do. Oh wow, the Noldor. Okay, the Noldor are not bothering me. Oh wow, ooh, that was close. Okay, so actually gonna help now when they have slightly less people, but bear in mind, obviously I'm not getting any renown here either, which is a big issue. Generally, this is the kind of thing you actually want to try to do to progress that much faster, because as I said to you in the previous episode, basically the best way that you can progress in Pendor is by jumping on prisoner trains. So for example, I actually saw a Noldor party. This is not the best example for me to give, by the way, but I'm just gonna, let's just say that the Noldor party is something else, like a band of Vanskree raiders or whatever, something that's actually doable for you to eliminate relatively early on. Let's just say that, right? Anyway, and let's just say that they have 60 or 70 prisoners. The Noldor had 67 prisoners, by the way. And if you attack them, you're going to be gaining their prisoners, and they're going to be absolutely fantastic. They're going to be great, they're going to literally give you some super high tier troops, and you're then going to be able to utilize those to make yourself that much more powerful. And that's the kind of thing that you've got to remember about. Oh, never mind. I'm just gonna leave. Oh no, it's these guys. Okay, yeah, let's just leave 4 troops behind. I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, okay. But this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. If you do get into a situation where you see, a smallish party of a bandit group, and I'm saying Vanskeries or, Mist Mountain or whatever, Snake Cult, and they have a lot of prisoners, weigh up whether you think you can defeat them. Because there's always that opportunity, even if you get to a super low amount of troops. Let's say that you, let's say that you have a relatively similar army to me right now, and you see some Vanskeries, and they've got, 40 people, maybe 40 people, something like that, and you think, am I going to be able to actually win this without suffering too many casualties? Well, does it matter? It doesn't, you see. It doesn't matter whether you sustain 99% casualties as long as you achieve victory. If you get the victory, then you can just rescue all of the prisoners that they have. This is the entire reason for doing it, of course. And then you're going to have a completely revamped army, an army that is completely super powerful, and you're really, really pleased about it. And yeah, that's basically, the whole point of it. Anyway, we're going to go into the Guildmaster here because we're going to ask for a productive enterprise, or hopefully a productive enterprise, and we're going to be going for an oil press. Yes, indeed. It only costs us 4,500, and our profit is going to be 500 dinars every single week, which is just absolutely incredible for such an early game enterprise. And we're not going to really have to worry about enterprises too much, but if we have the spare cash and we're running around anyway, we might as well do a little bit of something, All right, well, that was basically all I wanted to do. A bit sad that I really wasn't able to participate too dramatically in the Heretic army fight, but I mean, there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. Just sometimes those kinds of things happen. I mean, you saw exactly what happened. I was literally running around, not really in the thick of things. I was just literally getting killed by some stray thrown weapon. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the full stop of it all there. It's just literally like, yep, just a thrown weapon, some random thrown weapon. And that may actually remind me that, maybe what I want to do is I want to reduce my damage taken or something like that. Because at the moment I have damage taken to the player on maximum. So that basically means that, well, you guessed it, any single hit I take, if it is a thrown weapon, for example, in the face... Oh, I really wanted to get into this. I actually wonder whether I'm going to be able to take this guy prisoner. Can I actually... not this guy. I mean, can I rescue some of these troops? Yes, I can. Okay. Whew, that's nice. Okay, I like that. That's really, really good. Oh yeah, by the way, someone said to me that there are some keybinds that you can use to transfer all your prisoners and transfer all the captured enemies and so on and so forth. There's a bunch of different keybinds available in the game, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you telling me that. I actually already know about these. However, the main problem that I have faced in the past is when I use them, it tends to crash my game. So that's the reason why I am not doing that, and I'm doing it manually, just because it just doesn't make sense for me to do a battle, win the battle, maybe it's a close battle or something like that, and then I crash the game without being able to save in between. And that's going to be infinitely sad, because then we're not going to get any of the, any of the progression, and the wonderful, wonderful things from it. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm being a bit cautious with using those keybinds. But I appreciate you letting me know. Sometimes maybe it's going to work for other people, I don't know. But generally I have I found out that it does cause some instability for me specifically. Alright, we're doing some pretty good damage here, actually, all things considered. And one thing we have to remember, by the way. One thing we have to remember about Warband in comparison to Bannerlord, they changed how much HP you have as a default. And I'm talking about just general units here, general troops. Obviously, we're playing a mod at the moment, so it is very, very different than, the base game. Later on, at least, because some of the high tier troops are, of course, going to be much, much stronger than you may think. But for the most part, the general units are going to have around 60 HP if they have a decent amount of Iron Flesh. You can see here I have 53. And I don't have a decent amount of iron flesh. I have 2. So, you know. So basically, when you start off, you have around 45 HP. And that's something to bear in mind. So if you are up against a bandit party or something like that, more than likely they're going to have around 60 to 70 HP. If they have decent strength and all that stuff. And then you're easily going to be able to kill them in 2 hits if you do 30 damage or so. Every single time you hit. So that's the thing we've got to remember, because obviously in Bannerlord it's very, very different, where you literally are, well, you're kind of in a situation where you think, am I going to be able to actually do anything here? Because if you can't kill things in 2 hits, well then you feel a little bit, just a little bit more useless than you might want to, you know what I mean? Because obviously, early on, you want to try and get as many kills as possible. You want to try and be as useful to your troops as possible. But sometimes that obviously just does not happen because, well, the enemy has, by default, 300 HP. 300 HP. Not 300. 100 HP. Why did I say 300? I have no idea. I must have seen something on the screen that distracted me. But yes, anyway, the point is, that's generally how it is. That's generally how it is, because in Bannerlord, every single unit, by default, has 100 HP. And so, you know, when you're fighting something that has a really significant amount of, you know, armor, or just has, or maybe you have a terrible weapon, I don't know, maybe you have a bad weapon or something like that, then it feels like an infinite amount of time before you actually, you know, kill the thing, whatever it is. And at that point, well, is it still worth it? Because maybe it's not, you know, maybe you've achieved victory in general and you're just thinking, oh, well, what was the point in me bashing on this guy for 10 minutes? You know, those are the kinds of things that I'm talking about. However, in Warband, obviously, it's very, very different. The time to kill is a lot quicker, but very much depends, of course, as I say, very much depends on the mod, very much depends on the kind of troop that you're attacking. Because obviously, as you could tell right there, these bear claw berserkers, they're obviously going to be a lot more difficult for me to kill specifically than you know, someone that's a little bit higher level and everything, and better geared and stuff like that. I actually lost one of my refugees, even though they are at the bottom of the party screen here as well, which is kind of, that's kind of frustrating, isn't it? Anyway, I did actually level up as well, so that's really nice. So I can actually get another point in power draw, we get another point in strength, and we're just going to level up our archery too. I do have only 2 in Weapon Master. I think I am going to have to do something about that. I will probably have to try to get a little bit more in Weapon Master as we go. It's really going to make a huge difference to our overall progression. So I don't really want to leave it out in the cold for too long, because there are moments where in the past I've played Pendor and I've played the, you know, native and you know, huge amount of other mods, and I have not spec'd into Weapon Master at all, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why don't I have any more weapon proficiencies? And then these weapon proficiencies are all at their rock bottom. They're all at, like, I don't know, 120 or whatever, just because I don't have the amount of Weapon Master that we would need to be able to make fluid progression, you know? So it's very, very bad. It's very, very bad to do that. So yeah, definitely try to be on the lookout for that as well if you're wanting to play along or something like that. Anyway, we're just going to take what we can here. I don't know about the bread. I think I'll probably take the bread. I think it's kind of good, I guess. Can take another refugee here. Can take some of these. Basically, what I should be doing, actually, is fighting these mountain outlaws as much as possible, because the other guys, the Mist Mountain outcasts and so on, they're not actually that difficult, but they don't generally... Oh, why are they joining me? Look at this. Why are these guys actually joining me now? That is kind of weird. Is it because they actually like me now a little bit? Maybe that's the case. Ugh. Okay, well, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We can just go in, auto-resolve against these guys, and then what we'll do is just get the refugee. I mean, that's literally all we really want anyway, isn't it? You know, that's really all we need. So, yeah. Anyway, I have, of course, now quite a few prisoners, so I should probably go in and actually sell them. I'm actually not entirely sure. Oh, there's no ransom broker here. That's unusual. Usually there's going to be a ransom broker in pretty much every single town. But in this place, no, no, no. Okay, apparently not. Apparently not. Okay, so I'm just going to sell this. I sold the bread. Can you believe it? I sold the bread as well. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Oh, well, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, okay, we can sell that as well. That's another 1,500. I'm actually going to be buying... I'm going to buy this horse right here, and I really want to purchase another horse, but we have 5, so I think that should be okay. Basically, the maximum that you want to get is 6. That is going to allow you to move faster on the campaign map, and then you're going to be easier to catch people, and you know, you're going to be able to escape just that much quicker as well. Anyway, I'm actually going to go into Ravenstone real fast here as well, because I am kind of wanting to find... Wow, there still isn't one. Okay, that's real strange, actually. Usually... you know what? I'd love to actually meet Donovan now. Where's Donovan? Yeah. See, now that's the funny thing. You literally meet the companion that you want at the very beginning of the playthrough, and then you can never find them again. Isn't that the wonderful, wonderful thing? Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to do something. Oh, hello! As if in a daze, you look around you with a sense of deja vu, recalling a dream you once had of conversing with a woman who had long dark hair and armored eyes. The conversation was important, but try as you will, your tactics increased. That's all I could read. Couldn't read it faster than that. There's Wolfbode. He has an insane amount of prisoners, as you might expect, and that's also a reason why we really do want to try to get him into a battle, and hopefully manage to survive it as well, because that's really, really important. Well, apart from the fact that there's a Qualis gem, of course, we really do want to get the Qualis gem as well. Qualis gems are super, super important, as you may or may not know. I think you probably do by now. 850 dinars, not actually too bad for such a small amount. And we got this guy as well, just going to continue asking for rumors. I'm not going to be recruiting any other companions right now. As I said to you before, I still have to kind of determine who I want to go with, but don't worry, I'm going to make sure that we have a good layout when and if we are actually able to find Donovan, because he's the guy that I actually want to find first of all, and then we'll hopefully be able to do something after that. I'm going to just do a little bit of trading here as well, because we are here. We might as well, you know, do it, and then I'm just going to make my way through Ravenstone territory once again. But I thought, hey, you know what, maybe it's actually going to be something rather interesting to you, because obviously I have shown the trade route before, but this is something that you can actually do a little bit more effectively. So what I can do here is I can just sell all of this. We're going to gain about 600 profit, which is really not that good. However, it is going to then pay for this, kind of. As you can see, I'm just going to pay 300, so that's not too bad. And then we can go over and sell the flax. So this is kind of like a nice little trade circuit right here. And if you want to, you could then swing around from Avendor, and you could go over down to Singal, and like I showed you earlier in the series, you could literally purchase date fruit and so on and so forth, and make that a thing as well. But yeah, the flax is usually, in my opinion at least, the best way that you can make cash, as long as the price remains relatively good. Doesn't seem to have remained particularly good for me right now, which is a little bit unfortunate, but oh well, you know, I can't really do much about that. Sometimes that's just how it is. Anyway, let's do this. There we go. Let's go over there. Julia actually gets along with Lethal Durin quite a bit, so it would be really good for me to get her if I'm going to go for Lethal Durin. I might not, you see. I might not go for him. So it very much depends. Do I have I have 3 refugees. Oh, that's actually perfect. Okay. Didn't realize I had so many. I actually thought I only had 1. But we have 3, so I might as well make my way down there. Got to be super, super careful. You know how it is. Oh, hello. Shall we... Do they need help? They don't need help, right? I'm just going to go in for the auto-resolve there and just increase my... I mean, that was basically useless. But, oh, look at that. I actually did get a horse, and I still have some iron with me. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, yeah, that's also a thing. Alright, well, that's fine, I suppose. And bear in mind, obviously, now that we do have an oil press, we are going to be making a little bit of extra cash every single week, which is hopefully going to help us to sustain our army, because at the moment, I'm having to pay 1,500 dinars, and, of course, the oil press is approximately going to give me 500, so very much hoping that that's going to work for us. And we can now go in here. There we go. We've got 10. Ugh. Yeah, we're going to need to be a little bit more effective, aren't we? Alright, so we're actually in a battle against a relatively strong band of Mist Mountain units here, and well, obviously as you can see, I absolutely obliterated that fellow, but yeah, this is actually kind of a funny battle because they actually brought a friend. Hopefully we're going to be able to achieve victory here. I'm not actually entirely sure whether that will happen. I mean, I've actually been taking quite a few casualties over the past couple of fights. Thankfully, the AI does not seem as supernaturally good with their timing in regards to polearms. So when, you know, if you know the pain from Bannerlord, you'll know what I'm talking about. But generally, there are situations where you're attempting to attack someone. Of course, one of my refugees dies. Isn't that great? Yeah, anyway, you're attempting to attack someone on horseback. So you are on horseback and you're attacking someone that's on foot and they have a pole arm. They are, all intents and purposes, probably going to hit you no matter whether you are wanting them to or not. They're literally just going to be able to because that's how the game works. Unfortunately, you know, that's just generally how it seems to work. Anyway, I'm going to be rescuing 3 refugees, which is exactly the reason why I was actually doing this battle to begin with, but unfortunately we did end up losing one, which is just fantastic, isn't it? It's just a classic. And what's really funny about this as well is that it basically rewards you by going in. It is rewarding going into the battle manually, which obviously is another thing that Bannerlord does slightly better in regards to its auto-resolving, because, well, let's face it, you don't really want to go into a battle against some bandits. Hilariously enough, there are mods with Bannerlord that actually make the auto-resolve just that much better as well. But yeah, the auto-resolve in Warband has always been really brutal. For example, in my off-screen time, I did something very funny. I thought to myself, oh, these guys should be super easy for us to beat them, right? It was 10 Mist Mountain bandits. And they were, well, they were basically a cakewalk in general. Most of the time we would be, you know, completely fine to eliminate them without any problems whatsoever. But you can guess what happened, right? I lost every single one of my refugees that I had at the time. Literally. They specifically targeted the refugees. I thought that was just like, what? How does that happen? But yeah, that actually did happen. And I only had 2 at the time. But, you know, just imagine, that's just such a terrible, terrible coincidence. I think not. Yeah, no, it probably is a coincidence, all things considered. But it doesn't feel like that at the time. You know what I mean. Anyway, I actually did manage to loot 2 Masterwork shortbows, if you can believe it, which means that we are now going to be getting paid quite a significant amount, as you can see right here. Look at that, 2.7k. Actually, almost 2.8. If I sell the cheese, not sure if I want to do that. No, I think we're fine. I think we're fine. 2.7k is pretty good. And I would like to be able to sell some of my prisoners, but unfortunately I'm not getting the opportunity to do that. Unfortunately, these larger bands also do not have particularly large numbers of refugees, which I gotta say is kind of sad, you know? Kind of really want to get more refugees in each of these parties. It's just a shame that they each carry about 1 every single time, if they're carrying any at all. So it's almost a rarity to find some that carry multiples, because usually they're going to have multiple farmers or... ooh, hello, wait a minute. These guys, hello, we need to fight these fellows. They have a Jatu Battle Rider, a Jatu Lancer, and a Raider in their party. Oh, come on. Yeah. Oh, no. Ooh, that was close. Whew. Okay, that was actually really, really close. I thought to myself, okay, if these Snow Clan guys actually want to get into a battle with me right now, as well as the other forces, I'm not entirely sure if I would have been able to achieve victory there. That's the question. I don't know. But I would have been willing to try for the sheer fact that we're going to hopefully be able to get some Jatu battle riders. If we can get some of those, we are going to be in a great position. Unfortunately, my Jasu Raiders are being eliminated now. We lost a refugee. No, we lost 2 refugees. Are you serious? What I find super funny about the... no. Yeah, I should have... You know what I should have done? Yeah, we're just losing all of them. We're losing all of them. Well, not all of them, but most of them. You know what I should have done? I should have created a specific tag, which is what I used to do a whole bunch of time ago. I've obviously forgotten about these kinds of little intricacies that you can use to min-max just that little bit more. I'm obviously not trying to power game this a significantly hardcore amount. I'm just trying to be as efficient as I can with this quest. But unfortunately, in this case, no. Yeah, they did manage to eliminate some of our refugees, which is obviously not exactly great. However, if I had created a unique tag and made the refugees that tag, I could have told them to stand at the very back of the battlefield or something like that, and that would have made all the difference in the world. I'm actually really surprised that this Mist Mountain Shaman is taking so long to get eliminated, but there you go. We were able to achieve victory here. We gained 4 renown, but we ended up losing 3 refugees in the process, which is absolutely terrible. That is really, really bad. Oh well, never mind. Yeah. I mean, what can I do about it? I really wanted to get... I don't get the Battle Riders, unfortunately, but I do get the Lancers, do get to take one of the Shaman prisoner, which are really, really good to sell. So all of this stuff was actually really good. It's just the fact that we lost a couple of refugees. I think we lost 3, didn't we? Didn't we lose 3? I think we lost 3, but we gained 1. So technically we only lost 2, but... Oh. Hello. Oh dear. Okay, wait a minute. Where am I being shot from? Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I had the opportunity to use this this axe in a tavern brawl in my off-screen time. And I actually really enjoyed it. It's actually a lot of fun. As you can see, look at that. It's actually really good. The only problem with it is that you can't actually use it on horseback. Yes, I know. It looks weird, right? Because this is technically an axe on a very large handle. And you'd think, oh, you can use that to, you know, slash on horseback, right? No. That is actually not the case. You are going to need to thrust with this thing, which is really, really weird. I'm not entirely sure why that would be the case, why you are forced into thrusting on horseback with it, but maybe there's another function that I missed or something like that. Maybe there is a way for me to actually use it appropriately, but yeah, it was kind of disappointing to me at the time, so maybe I can figure it out, who knows. Anyway, we could just sell this stuff. Don't really need any of this. Thank you very much. 900 dinars. Very good. And we have 5 refugees. That's actually not even entirely bad. My raiders can eventually become Jatu Lancers as well. I think I need higher prisoner management too. That is a thing that would definitely help us out. I'm thinking that we need to become a pretty good killer of enemy units at the moment, more than leveling up my leadership and my prisoner management. Because obviously, if you think about it this way, think about what do you get experience from? Well, obviously you get experience from getting kills, right? Primarily, that's where you're going to get experience from. And then secondarily, you're obviously going to be getting experience from winning battles. But that's obviously a you know, that's just a byproduct of what you're doing anyway in the game. So what I'm actually going to continue doing is I'm going to continue leveling up my strength for the moment, and I'm wondering what else I should go for here. As I said to you before, I'm thinking probably Weapon Master, because I want to level up as fast as possible. I want to try to level up my archery as fast as I can, and maybe my two-handed as well, but obviously if I'm thinking about some refugees there, these are... I just really wish they had more than just 1 or 2 refugees. I mean, that would make so much sense. Okay, so let me actually just do something real fast here. I'm actually wondering what I can do. I'm going to tell my infantry to just stand back here with the archers, because maybe the refugees charging in is not a good thing. I mean, obviously it isn't a good thing, but maybe this is just something that I have to micromanage a little bit here. I was kind of hoping that the enemy would just be like, yeah, I don't really care about those refugees, I'm actually just going to attack these guys instead. I was kind of hoping that that's what would happen, you know, attacking something that's just a little bit more dangerous than some guy with some random mace or club or something like that. That's what I was kind of hoping for. But the AI is a bit weird when it comes to that kind of thing, so I don't know. Maybe they just didn't decide to do that. Yeah, we're doing some nice damage though, and I'm actually leveling up my polearm skill pretty quickly, all things considered too. Can I actually murder this guy? Yeah, a little bit. I kind of wanted to get more couch lance kills, but I'm getting pretty unlucky with my speed at the moment. There we go, there's one. And we actually knocked him unconscious, which is even better, because taking prisoners in Pendor is super, super lucrative. And obviously, as I said, prisoner management is really going to make a huge difference to us in the end as well, because we're going to need to take all kinds of unique spawns prisoner, and the higher chance of taking those prisoner is just, that's basically the entire thing. Because if you can take them prisoner, you're going to be able to basically ransom their freedom for a Qualis gem. And Qualis gems are pretty much the be-all, end-all when it comes to how powerful your character can actually be. Because you can buy these elixirs, they increase your overall statistics, they increase your weapon proficiencies, they can be used to recruit extremely powerful units from the Noldor, they can be used to upgrade your knighthood order, question mark? Actually not entirely sure whether it can do that, but I know that they are extremely useful. I can't remember about the knighthood orders now, it's been such a long time. Anyway, we've got various loot from this, which is actually very nice. That actually reminds me, I do need to go back to the chest in Rain, I think it is. Is it Rain or Valenbray? Either one of those, I think. Either one of those would probably make sense. And we're just going to be taking these guys as well. I have a bunch of Mist Mountain, really high tier troops actually, for me to possibly sell to the ransom broker, but unfortunately there just aren't any at the moment. Got some farmers there. We've got a snake cult army coming in. Okay, these guys, you want to fight? You want to fight? No, they don't want to fight. Okay, that's good. Are these guys actually going to get some? No, they didn't get any refugees. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to make my way back down over here. Just got to be super careful. That's the thing. You know, anytime you're traveling through this area, be careful, be careful. Obviously, it's not as dangerous as traveling through the actual Laria forest, because that's where the Noldor are. But the Jatu are so fast. They are just so fast. So definitely want to be very careful of that. Okay, so there we go. My oil press is actually working now, and as you can see, we're getting 600 from it. So that reduces my overall wage cost by a significant portion. So I like that a great deal. And we can hopefully now go into the old ruins and just, you know, deposit those refugees and make sure that we're all good. Yes, there we are. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Fantastic. Now, if I had maintained those 3 refugees beforehand, I would only need 2 now, or 1. So it just goes to show that sometimes these small actions can really make a big impact. So, you know, that just it just kind of tells me, yeah, you know what, probably should have been a bit more careful. Anyway, I can sell all of my prisoners for 1100. Okay, I was actually kind of hoping that the shaman would be a little bit more impactful. We're gonna recruit those maiden scouts. And these Melatine Free Brothers are actually pretty good as far as I remember, so maybe it would be an idea for us to get them. I think they're quite expensive though, that's the thing. Actually not even bad. They're only 1100. What? That's kind of weird. Alright, well, why not? Why not? Oh yeah, by the way, I was actually wrong about the mercenaries. I've never actually done this before because I never usually recruit mercenaries, but basically I don't need a gold bar, right? I don't need a gold bar. I actually thought you needed a gold bar because I just didn't read all of this, but as you can see right here, let's focus on those mercenaries you were talking about, and this is exactly what we can do here. So basically, as you see here, you can hire 1 man for the price of 481. I have no idea what kind of mercenary he's willing to give me, But what's funny about this is that I did this before in my off-screen time, and he literally wanted me to pay 7,000. And I thought to myself, no, thank you very much, goodbye. So I just left very, very quickly there. He gave me a mercenary sharpshooter. This is actually not bad. This is actually a pretty good unit. The only unfortunate thing about mercenaries in general is that they are not as good as regular troops, when they're fully leveled up, of course. But they are very expensive, as you can see here. 144 dinars from that. The Melitene, I actually don't exactly know what they level up into. I guess we can probably take a look at the troop trees. That's probably going to give us a bit of a better idea. Let's have a look here. Do they even have them available? Maybe they do. It's adventurers, maybe. Adventurers. Yeah, we've got some maiden scouts, these guys right here, and they eventually level up into these fellows, maiden adventurers, heroine adventurers, and so on and so forth. And those are absolutely amazing. I love those. I've used those multiple times before, and they are exceptional. They are very, very powerful indeed. Seems like I'm not getting particularly lucky about taking... here we go, here we go. Okay, so the Free Brothers are the lowest level, and then they eventually become heavy horse archers, or they can become these guys. They have 380 in their weapon proficiencies. That's pretty good, all things considered. That is actually quite impressive. How long does it take them to level up into that? Not sure. But could be good. Could be good. And their horse archers are actually pretty decent as well. As you can see, they have 350 in archery, so that's not terrible. That is actually not terrible at all. Anyway, yeah, this is what Anson currently has as well, by the way. So I'm actually just going to get him to 9 strength, because there's a bunch of things that we want to get at 9 strength for him. You know, most notably, we can actually put him into some Fierdsvein gear. We can get him some decent armor, and so on. And that's actually going to be really, really useful for him. Apart from that, I actually do want to inevitably make him into a lord. Hilariously enough, he actually has some really good surgery, first aid, engineer, and so on and so forth. But obviously Leslie is taking care of that for me at the moment. So I'm thinking that maybe what I'd like to do is actually level up his leadership at the moment. Maybe that's going to be a good idea. I don't know. Eventually, as I say, he is going to become one of our vassals. He's not really going to become anything too dramatic for us in our party or anything like that, because Leslie is the one that's doing that. So, or hopefully she's going to be doing that, if she can actually level up at all. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.